Hello and welcome to the DC Universe podcast. I am Nathan.
I'm Donovan.
And today we are going to be talking about Dr. Occult. Donovan, you know who that is?
Yeah.
Are you lying?
Yeah.
Alright. Well, Dr. Occult is fun fact, the first DC comic book that was ever published.
Really?
Yeah, in the 30s. You know, where everything was like sepia tone.
What?
And everybody was sad.
Yeah, because,
nobody had any money.
Oh, yeah, the Depression was happening in the 30s.
Yeah.
And they think that once the Depression ends, everything's going to be fun. Ha! Suckers.
Yeah. Alright. Born in the late 1800s, him and another infant, a girl, were being sacrificed by a satanic cult when the leader of a cult known as the Seven rescued them and raised them in said cult. The two were named Richard Occult and Rose Psychic.
Oh, I wonder what they're going to grow up to be.
Yeah, I wonder what the powers are going to be. It's no effort. So basically, after that, when they grew up to a certain age, they were released into the world after being taught about all of this magic and all this power and stuff. Richard became a detective, and his character was based a lot off of Sam Spade from the Maltese Falcon, whereas Rose actually disappeared until like the late 1930s, where they brought her back.
Huh. Did they ever explain where she went to, or?
I'm sure they did, but I just do not have the time to look at that. Occult's most famous affiliates are the Sentinels of Magic, the All-Star Squadron, which features Zatanna's opaque father, Zatara, the Justice Society of America, and, Donovan will like this, the Trenchcoat Brigade.
I wore a trench coat 1 year. 1 year.
All it takes is
Kiss
one,
my
Donovan.
ass.
He was also paired with another famous paranormal detective, John Constantine.
Woo! Justice League Dark.
Justice League Dark. The publication of Dr. Occult is actually very interesting because it was created by the powerhouse duo Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. You know who those people are, Donovan?
Yes.
Uh-huh. They were the masterminds behind Superman.
Yes.
There was the writer, Jerry, and the drawer.
Jerry Seinfeld. He made B-Movie.
No. Anyway, this was their... besides a few comics, this was their first DC comic that the two had actually published together. And I think it's great, he's a really interesting guy. Dr. Occult's powers are slowing the aging process, which is something he did when he got out of the Seven. Magic, obviously. Astral projection. He can create illusions. He's got hypnosis working for him. He's got telekinesis, force fields.
Just like any DC comic hero that started in the 30s, he has too much shit.
Kinda. He can phase like Martian Manhunter. Incredibly high intelligence, especially in science and investigation. No known weaknesses other than human vulnerability, but honestly, this guy can probably prevent that,
Probably.
He hasn't appeared much in other media other than his comic books. He had a few revamps back in the 90s and the early 2000s. But he does appear in DC Universe Online. Something most memorable about Dr. Occult is the symbol of 7, which is... I don't even know what it's like a medallion or a medal that he wears. And a lot of his powers originate from that. It's red and it's glowing.
Just like a cop.
Super
all the
badass.
powers in a badge.
So, Donovan, what do you think about Dr. Occult?
It's nice.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
I like him a lot. I like the magic side and sort of I like how DC sort of started with the whole paranormal thing that's going on.
Right, but DC's not more known for their paranormal. They're known for their Justice League and the Batman.
Most people don't want to hear about that kind of stuff.
They don't really care about that.
Yeah.
They want a guy that, is indestructible against the Nazis.
Well, pretty much you're thinking about Captain America, and pretty much the thing about the darker side of Justice League is that or DC as a whole, it's becoming more and more popular. And we have Constantine to think about that, the show that unfortunately only got one season. But there's a rising fan base around it, and it's actually rumored that he's going to get a season 2. And he is appearing on the Arrow and the Flash and in Olicity.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Hopefully I get to see my favorite character on that show.
The question?
That and Swamp Thing.
Yes! Alright, well, thank you for joining us on our first episode about the first hero. If we missed anything, please feel free to tell us. If you think that we're handsome, please stop lying to yourself. And just any further questions about any ideas that you have about future podcasts, do let us know.
Came into this podcast thinking, man, these guys sound cool. Well, I've got some news for you.
We're not. So, once again, thank you, and we will see you around.
Yeah, bye.